It's 3 o'clock in Central Europe. From AP, UPI, and the major American networks, the news is next on AFN.
Good afternoon, Charles Lutz, AFN News. The government reports the civilian unemployment rate declined slightly for the third month in May to 10.1%. The Labor Department says the May figure is a decline of 0.1% from April. Despite the drop, though, there were still 11,200,000 Americans officially classified as jobless last month. In Eppstein, West Germany, a suburb of Frankfurt, police say a gunman has killed 3 school children, a teacher, and a policeman after taking several hostages in a school earlier today. It's not known why the man took the hostages or what his demands were. The gunman was shot to death by police. Ted Elbert of NBC News in Frankfurt provides further details.
The gunman apparently entered a classroom of 12 and 13-year-olds. 2 policemen happened to be in the school teaching traffic laws to a class. They heard what they thought was an explosion in an upstairs chemistry lab. One of the officers went to investigate. When he did not return right away, his partner went to investigate and saw that the first policeman had been shot. He went to call for help. 13 other pupils were injured. 11 of them are in serious condition. A busload of other children were taken to hospitals in shock. Nothing is yet known what prompted the shootings. Ted Elbert, NBC News, Frankfurt, West Germany.
Work crews have cleared the burned fuselage of the Canadian DC-9 off the runway at Greater Cincinnati Airport. 23 people were killed when the plane caught fire in a flight and made an emergency landing. This is AFN Radio News. The Pentagon's chief of manpower says military people may get a 4% pay increase this year. Assistant Secretary Lawrence Korb says he expects Congress to restore $1 billion to the defense budget and allow the raise. The rain has stopped in northern Utah. Today, the cleanup from this weekend's devastating floods and mudslides begins. But National Public Radio reports new flooding is still developing.
Nearly 1 inch of rain in 1 hour hit muddy, flood-weary Bountiful yesterday afternoon. Water damage occurred in the business district and a residential neighborhood. But this morning, streams are under control, thanks to the efforts of volunteers and National Guard crews who have worked to clear blocked channels. In the canyons above Bountiful and Farmington, teams of observers are watching mudslide-prone slopes and creeks. Farmington residents were allowed to return to their homes yesterday to retrieve belongings, but many remain out of their homes today. New flooding has been reported in several communities throughout Utah, and some new evacuations have been ordered. In Salt Lake City and County, the flooding has subsided, but officials say that's only temporary. Some of the highest stream flows yet will develop over the next 3 weeks, and emergency conditions for some areas are expected to return. I'm Howard Burkus in Salt Lake City.
As requested by the late naval commander, the remains of Albert Schaufelberger will be scattered at sea later today off the Coronado, California coast. Schaufelberger, the first U.S. military man to be killed in El Salvador, was eulogized yesterday as a dedicated officer who believed in the U.S. role in El Salvador. The U.S. Embassy in San Salvador has posted a reward for information leading to the arrest of his killer. A published report says the Reagan administration is thinking of increasing the U.S. military presence in Central America. According to the New York Times, options being considered include further cooperation with Honduras, more military advisors in El Salvador, and a possible renewal of military aid to Guatemala. Despite claims from the tobacco industry that it can't be done, the Consumer Product Safety Commission wants the development of fire-safe cigarettes. A bill sponsored by Congressman Joe Moakley, a Massachusetts Democrat, would set a 2-year limit for the commission to develop standards for such cigarettes. Fires set in furniture by cigarettes rank as the #1 cause of fire deaths in the United States. Federal health officials report an outbreak of a penicillin-resistant gonorrhea. The first U.S. outbreak has been seen in Durham County, North Carolina, where 55 cases have been reported. With Syria continuing to balk at pulling troops out of Lebanon, U.S. Envoy Philip Habib returns to Washington next Thursday. Habib will meet with U.S. ambassadors to Israel, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Lebanon upon his return. The dollar was strong in European trading today, moving up fractionally against the West German mark, but the midday fix of 2 marks 54.25 holds the military rate at 2 marks 252. AFN News compiled from major networks, wire services, and public affairs offices. Charles Lutz reporting.